Bezos, Jeff Bezos, hardworking American dream story of Jeff Bezos, right? Who, from day to day, it seems fluctuates between being the first richest man in the world and the second richest man in the world. It's a competition between him and Elon Musk at this point, okay? But I think that, once the hype for Tesla dies down, they figure out that the company's not actually making any money. Maybe Jeff Bezos will retain that spot permanently in the future. But I don't have any beef with Tesla, by the way. If people think that it's going to be, a great company in the future, that's awesome. I'm not saying it won't be. I just think that the speculation with that company is out of control. But Jeff Bezos had shocked the world and decided to step down as CEO of Amazon. Now, again, this is a surprise because nobody saw this coming, but Bezos, over the past few years, has kind of taken a step back from the day-to-day operations of Amazon and focusing on personal projects and other things, right? He's been in the tabloids for his divorce with his longtime wife, Mackenzie Bezos, that was heavily publicized. He also had some issues with his new girlfriend, leaking photos and things of that nature. You guys can look that up. The takeaway from that story is that no matter how rich you are, you still can be a simp. And Jeff Bezos is definitely a simp, in my opinion. But regardless of that, Jeff Bezos, again, has shocked the world and stepping down as CEO of Amazon. So let's read a little bit more about who's taking his place and kind of where this comes from. When Jeff Bezos founded an online bookseller named Amazon in 1994, he said the question that he was asked most frequently was, "What's the internet?" Bezos answered by building Amazon into a $1.7 trillion behemoth that sold so many different items online it became known as the everything store. In the process, he upended the retail industry, turned Amazon into a logistics giant, and expanded into cloud computing, streaming entertainment, and artificial intelligence powered devices. For a time, he was the world's richest person. On Tuesday, Mr. Bezos, 57, said his run at the top of the Seattle-based company was over. As Amazon reported its latest set of blockbuster financial results, Mr. Bezos said he planned to hand over the reins this summer and transition into the role of executive chairman. Basically, he's taking a step back and letting some of his other trusted colleagues / executives kind of run the show, right? With him looking over, making sure things are going well. Andy Jassy, 53, the chief executive of Amazon's cloud computing division, will be promoted to run the entire company. This change will be effective in the third quarter, which starts in July. So Andy Jassy, a little bit more information about him. He was running Amazon Web Services, which is their cloud computing division, which you guys may be familiar with because they are the ones that are responsible for taking down Parler, taking Parler off of their servers. So he, according to Bloomberg, was involved in that decision because of all the PR stuff and the legal stuff. So it basically came down to him. He's the one that said, you know what, we're going to pull the plug on this company. So, he is the one that is responsible for that, or at the very least, he had a heavy hand in that decision. Now, it remains to be seen, exactly what that will mean moving forward for Amazon, but I am sure that Amazon will be ran essentially the same, especially considering that Bezos is probably still gonna, be supplying the vision of the company. So we'll see what happens with Bezos. He'll probably work more on Blue Origin, his space project, and things of that nature. I'm actually curious to see exactly what, he's going to do there. I think space is industry with unlimited potential, right? So again, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just saying, and this is not financial advice, if you can get some type of exposure to space, we're talking about 30, 40, 50-year investment. It could be, again, a lot of money, right? So, like I said, if that's something you want to explore, there's definitely some ETFs out there. There's some companies that have some exposure to space. Very interesting stuff. But in regards to Amazon, they may have some more down-to-earth issues that Mr. Jassy may have to sort out moving forward in the future, because Amazon, right, was accused of keeping $62 million in tips intended for drivers, the Federal Trade Commission says. So Amazon needs to pay back nearly $62 million in driver tips that it skimmed over the years. Federal regulators said Tuesday. The Federal Trade Commission unveiled a complaint against the e-commerce giant on Tuesday, alleging that Amazon Flex program stole nearly $62 million in tips from its army of drivers between 2016 and 2019. That's messed up. That is a messed up allegation for a $1.7 trillion company. They are so cheap that allegedly they stole some chump change of $62 million from some people that's trying to make some side dollars delivering Amazon packages. Ain't that a shame? Okay. Quote, rather than passing along 100% of the customer's tips to drivers as it promised to do, Amazon used the money itself. Daniel Kaufman, acting director of the FTC's Bureau of Consumer Protection, said in a statement. News of the settlement comes as Amazon founder Jeff Bezos said he was stepping down as CEO, capping off a year of meteoric growth for the e-commerce company. Launched in 2015, Amazon Flex allowed ordinary people to sign up for shifts using their personal car to deliver Amazon packages. Amazon advertised that drivers could make $18 to $25 an hour in the program and earn tips for certain deliveries, according to the FTC complaint. The company told drivers that it would, quote, pass to you 100% of the tips you earn. It also told customers that 100% of the tips are passed on to your carrier, according to the FTC complaint. Soon after Amazon Flex launch, however, the company started skimming drivers' tips. The FTC claims in late 2016, the company secretly switched to a variable pay system where the amount drivers earn would fluctuate based on an internal algorithm, regulators allege. It's always the algorithm. It's always the algorithm. Okay? That's how these companies get away with everything. Just blame it on the algorithm. It's not us. It's the algorithm. Even though we design the algorithm, we tell the algorithm what to do. Don't blame us. It's the algorithm. Under this system, the complaint alleges, Amazon could advertise a payment of $18 to $24 for a particular delivery, but if the customer tipped $6, Amazon would pay the driver $12 for an $18 total payment. So basically, they tell people, or at least strongly imply, that we're going to pay you $18 to $24 per hour no matter what, right? However, what Amazon decided to try to get smart, they decided that, you know what, these customers tipping quite a bit. So we'll give you the tip, but we're going to take that tip away from the total that we're supposed to pay you. So we're not going to pay you 18 to 24 plus the tip, right? Which could get up to like $30, right? Like if they paid $24 plus $6, you get $30, which is great, right? That's awesome for one delivery. However, what Amazon decided is that, wait. These people get paid a little bit too much, okay? If a customer pays $6, we're going to go ahead and just subtract that from the minimum, which is $18, and we're going to just pay the driver $12. He gets the tip of $6, $18 total payment. We kept our promise, okay? Now, again, obviously, this is some sketchy, underhanded, shady stuff if these allegations are true, but I wouldn't be surprised because Jeff Bezos is notoriously cheap, okay? At that point, Amazon decided to obscure from drivers that it was reducing their pay and began reporting their earnings as a single lump sum that hid any distinction between customer tips and pay from Amazon, the complaint alleges. Based on the information Amazon provided, drivers could not tell whether Amazon had contributed its minimum for the delivery block or a lesser amount, nor could drivers tell the amount of any customer tip. Again, that's a red flag. I mean, that to me implies guilt. Guys, I mean, if you've ever done any type of food delivery on one of these apps, like DoorDash or Grubhub or whatever, right? Or if you've done Uber or Lyft, you know, they make it very transparent. This is what we're paying you. This is what the tip is, right? And they claim to pass along 100% of the tip to the driver, and they make it very transparent that that's what they're doing. Amazon, on the other hand, allegedly did something a little different. They completely hid how much of the pay was coming from tips. Okay, so that to me just implies guilt, because again, if you were passing along 100% of the tips, what reason do you have to obscure the payment? You don't have any reason to obscure the payment if you're holding up your end of the bargain. Amazon also discouraged customers from tipping in cash, with the app saying that cash is not accepted upon delivery. Huge PR risk. Hundreds of drivers saw their pay decrease and complained to Amazon, the FTC said, but the company responded to them with canned emails saying that delivery partners still earn $18 to $25 per hour, including 100% of customer tips, the complaint says. Yep, I've been there. I've been there dealing with these big companies, the canned emails, right? Whether it's Amazon, Facebook, any of these companies, Twitter, canned emails. They love it. They love it. At the same time, Amazon employees circulate these complaints internally and acknowledge that the issue was, quote, a huge PR risk for Amazon, the complaint alleges. Oh, I bet. I mean, a $1.7 trillion company stealing some chump change from guys that are just trying to, feed the family, right? Take care of their kids, get some extra side pocket change for a little vacation. Amazon did not admit wrongdoing as part of the settlement. The company will be required to pay $61.7 million to the FTC, which the agency will distribute to drivers. The agreement also formally bars the company from lying about tips in the future and requires it to get drivers' consent before changing pay models. While we disagree that the historical way we reported pay to drivers was unclear, we added additional clarity in 2019 and are pleased to put this matter behind us. An Amazon spokesperson told CBS News in a statement, Amazon Flex delivery partners play an important role in serving customers every day, which is why they earn among the best in the industry at over $25 per hour on average. FTC Commissioner Riyad Champa urged the agency to impose further penalties and investigate if Amazon broke anti-monopoly laws, noting that the alleged scheme likely produced significant benefits for the company. This cannot be the only action we take to protect workers and families from dominant middlemen. The FTC will also need to carefully examine whether tech platforms are engaging in anti-competitive conduct that hoodwinks workers and crushes law-abiding competitors, Champa said in a statement. While Amazon.com is one of the largest, most powerful, most feared firms in the world, the company cannot be above the law. Yeah, right. I'm not sure if I buy into that. All these companies are above the law, right? A lot of these companies are the law, right? Because of how much money they have, how much money is in politics. They are the law. They contribute to the formation of the law. So to say that they're above the law, I think is, whatever, right? Neither here nor there for me. But, does this have anything to do with Jeff Bezos resigning as CEO? Probably not. I mean, who knows? I mean, he could be resigning at this time on this day because he knew this was coming out. And he probably did it to try to overshadow this type of negative PR that he knew was coming out. That's probably where this is coming from. He's probably planning on doing this for a while. Again, these guys move strategically. They just move differently, right? That's why the man is one of the richest men in the world, because he's a maniac, right? In the way that they operate, right? So everything they do is strategic in some way. And I just think this was a way to try to cover up this report that came out about them stealing money from drivers, allegedly. So who knows? But, at the end of the day, from an investment standpoint, I mean, a lot of people still think that Amazon basically has unlimited growth and, could be, a solid company in the future. And that this probably won't expect the stock price too much at this point. Let's actually see where they're at right now. I mean, they're down 0.44%, which is, again, not really much. So it hasn't really shook the markets too much. So we'll see what happens moving forward. Let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.